Okay, so I'm back, and I realized while I was gone that I had a fundamental flaw in the scripting that I was doing, and I even mentioned it to you, in that you're not going to want uh, the events for the objectives in the widget, um, because because the widgets aren't always around, and that is silly. So what we should do instead is to do this work uh, in the from the actual interact object itself, casting to the casting to the player character, and then when this widget's created, then it should just purely set the checkmarked status instead of how I was trying to do it, or how I did set it up, where my original thought was the interact object would call here, and then this would call to the player character. So that was kind of stupid on my part. So what we're gonna do is we still instead of um, instead of actually casting calling to the player character, we'll do that with the objectives. And what I'm going to do here in the widget is just check to see if those objectives are set. And then I will set if they're checked. So not all my work is for naught. So what we're going to do is off of the event construct, we are going to get all actors of class, which we already have that set up. So I'm just going to move that up here. I'll unhook that so it's messy. In fact, I could just go ahead and delete all of these because we won't be using them. So what we're going to do, get all actors of class, and then we are going to do a similar thing where we get the status of it, but instead of casting, what we're going to do, so we've got our bath. Oops. We are going to set, oh no, that's right. Okay. So then I'm going to do check state, set check state, and let's see, we're going to do a branch here. And we'll duplicate this guy. And so if it's true, we'll set it to checked. Set to checked. And if it's false, we'll set it to unchecked. That way, when the widget's actually created, it's just setting those values so the player can see which objectives he has left. So I'll go ahead and do that for each of these. And probably what I'll do is I'm just going to do a sequence. So go ahead and add a sequence in here. And we'll just do them all in order. So I can copy all these, pull them up here. Yep, a little tighter. If you noticed, I think kind of in the, I guess, North American Western style of thought training, that usually I go down and to the right. And that's pretty much how Kismet's set up, is obviously to the right. But I like to go down generally when I'm doing something like this where I'm repeating actions. So I'm just going to hook all these guys into here. We don't need a bunch of different ones. We only need to get it once, because we're just going to go right through and check all these at the same time. Okay, so this guy to the top. Looks like we have one more that we. Oh no, that's down Okay, so we can nuke from orbit all this stuff. So that was kind of a waste of time, huh? That's game development for you. And that's both the good and the bad of kind of doing stuff on the fly like this and just kind of working through your logic and step by step. But sometimes you do end up, having to throw work away, and that is life sometimes. But if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how much time you save by not, meticulously planning it out ahead of time, is, countered by time you might lose by wasting work or duplicating work. So I'm going to hook these guys up. Okay, we've got all 5 hooked up. Well, thought I did. Okay, spread this out a little bit. Duplicate. Oh, hook that up. And I know some people will probably be bashing me for the way I organize or don't make my blueprints all neat and clean. Okay, laptop. Um, but honestly, for a project this simple, and considering the fact that I'm never going to be, no one else is ever going to be working on this because it's my little Hobie home at home project, just to well, show people how easy it is uh, to do this, which can be a good and a bad thing, but also, just to do something cool and experimental. It's a tad bit different from other games that I've worked on, like Halo. Let's see. Okay, so now we got our teeth. Okay, next we have our spouse. Gotta make sure and say spouse. Let's see. Or maybe I should say partner. Or never mind. I'm gonna stop talking about that. Let's see. Okay, so there is the spouse is hooked up. And now we have the last one, which is our sleep. Okay, so oops, shift is add, control is remove. Great comments. Move that up so it's not over. Actually, I don't need to move it up. Okay. Set objective checkboxes. And let's save that, compile that, save it. And let's take a look. I don't want to do that. I need bed, because that's the only one I've hooked up so far. Get in the bath. Okay. Forgot I haven't hooked up to the actual objective indicators yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up our objectives. We'll go to our blueprints, interactive objects, and our parent, which now is the only one. I'm going to get rid of these so they're a little clearer. What do we got here? This is our interact. Okay, so that is the actual clear interact. See, I should have labeled it when I had it when it's fresh in my mind. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix this as well. We're gonna being a butthead because it's there we go. Come on, where's the move? I want to move you. Darn it. Okay, so now move this. So the way it is now with this whole press release thing, that's pretty lame. So let's do a little bit more of an interaction, and then we'll hook up the actual objectives. So, um, let's see here. How do we want to do this? Let's see. Okay, so we're setting the interaction text. This has been a couple days since I did this. Um, hmm, what is the best way to do this? Rename that has laptop because I changed obviously my mind while I was doing something. So we've got our input action. So the challenge here is just kind of I'm thinking while I'm sitting here is that we have multiple layers of interaction. Um, Now what we could do is just change this text because so certain of the objects, the idea is that you have multiple end tables, but not all of them will have a phone. And you could have multiple tables possibly, but not all of them would have a laptop. So I think what we should do is go a little bit more in depth. And what we could do is just say, okay, this is a table. It has a laptop. Press spacebar to interact with laptop, or press spacebar um, to do to use laptop. I think that's going to be the easiest way, as opposed to, and then if it doesn't, it'll just say this is a coffee table, and there won't be any interaction with the coffee table. Um, and if you press spacebar, I'll just have the interaction result be the same. So in order to do that, let's change this stuff. Where are we? Oh, we don't need to be back in objectives. We need to be in our construction script, right? So we're going to change this up, and we're just going to just be a little more detailed in here. We'll go. Um, this is a bed. Press space to sleep. Capitals. Space to sleep. Um, you have slept. Cool. And then what we'll do in the graph is instead of doing this pressed released, we're going to break that released, and then we're just going to do a timer. So basically, you hit space bar. We're going to do not a timer, a delay. I don't even, still never figured out how timers really work. I use delays. Um, so we'll put that up for 5 seconds. Well, probably 3. Start with 3. uh, Great question my daughter had when I told her about this game. She said, "How is a blind person going to play?" And I said, I don't know. That's an interesting challenge. Maybe I'll need to make an audio version of it. But I doubt a blind person would want to play a game about a blind person in a room. Uh, that would be like me just making a non-blind person in a room game. Okay, so input action interact. We're going to call the interaction result, and then uh, no, we're not. We are going to, so we've got the interaction text up. We're going to set that delay. Oh no, we'll just play it for 3 seconds, and then we're actually not going to display that text again. Yeah, we are, because it's going to say you are out of bed. Um, we're going to add a variable in here. Completeds. Completed. Add a bool in here. And what we'll do is we're going to set that true. Then we're going to migrate get all actors a class. Person character. Do our get. Again, single player only. And we're going to call objective completed. So I'm going to need to know my objective type, right, which is set in our construction script, right? Okay, so once that's set, we're going to get that, hook it up, and that should properly cast to player character and set our objectives. The other thing we're going to do is in our objective interact, or on our begin overlap, we are going to put a branch, and we're going to check completed. Uh-oh. Oh. Do a not boolean. So if completed is, wait, completed is not true. Um, obviously I could just have fired it off false, but whatever. Fancy pants. So this widget will never get created once this objective is completed. So set the interaction text, completed, and we don't actually need to see. So what we're going to do is put that up for 3 seconds, and instead of setting it, oh no, we still want to set it back. Let's see. Okay, so we still are going to want to create the widget. So we're going to pop around. Let's see here. Because we're still going to want the player to be able to see that it's a bed. So maybe we need a third state that, well, I mean, does it matter really if players sleep over and over and over again? I guess not. I guess we just don't worry about this. Because otherwise, I'll have to create a whole nother branch uh, that doesn't do the enable input and all that. So I'm just going to pull that out. If you want to sleep over and over and over and over again by clicking the button, then that's great. Okay, what we're going to do, we'll put that branch right here. Well, actually, let's just check it out because all it's doing is it's setting that checkbox. Ah, but no, here's where I do need to stop it because if I uh, if I do that each time, this is where what I need is a do once. There we go. Now players will only do it once. Um, See, that was way less complicated than doing a bool and a check and branches. Let's just put a do once in there. But the reason why I don't want to let them do this over and over and over again is because of the way I set that objective counter up, where it's incrementing the int each time you uh, check it. So, uh, yes. So now we need to. Okay, we got the objective type number. So this should. I'm trying to think if. Oh, I need to. Well, let's test it and then we'll see if we need to clean up that text first. Okay, east-west wall, open door, end table, wall, counter, trying to find the bed, another end table, bed should be, wait, end table, there it is. Okay, this is a bed, press space to sleep. You have slept. Oh, this is what's funny is when you bind something to the escape key, is that it makes it challenging to test because what you have to do is come over here and run it as a standalone game because the escape button, the file is pmaps ued pcv. Okay, file to save. I don't know why. Yeah, I have this in my other game as well. Is when you open every time you open a level, it wants to edit it, and it won't let you play without saving. The file is read only. Didn't I just check that out? Hold on, buddy. Okay, I'm going to take a break and then we'll get back to that. Okay, I'm back. It appears that my last hour of recording just got nuked. Um, I'm back after GDC, and what I was doing while I was doing that recording, I did some more work. Basically, I set it up so the interactive objects, once you've interacted with them, in the construction script, I set different text for the different objects so it doesn't still say that you can interact with it. It just says this is what it is so you can still see it. Um, and I did that in the construction script. And then once the objective is fired, I call to the widget and set the interaction with text to be interacted with. So you can see here, if I move to an object, find an object here. Oh, where'd that couch go? Okay, this coffee table. There, I interacted with the coffee table, and now it just says this is a coffee table, and the interact doesn't do anything. So, yes, so I did that. Yeah, and I made a bunch of interesting mistakes while I was doing that, and recorded all that, and the recording got nuked. So, what I just started on was setting up the doors. So what I did is I set up a branch on the interact that checks if it's not a door. If it's not set as a door, it just fires as normal, does its do once, all its interaction text. If it is a door, we are going to get the status of the completion, um, calling to the first person character, see if all the objectives complete. If they're not, I'm coming down here and I'm saying you must complete objectives before exiting. Okay, we're going to do that for 3 seconds. delay. Three seconds. And then we are going to back to our construction script. Our text for this is a door. Copy this. Back to our event graph. Set our interaction text back to that. Okay. And actually, we're going to need to set this in the actual doors. So get all objects class, actors of class, interactive objects. We're going to for loop. Since this will include myself, let's see, cast interactive parent. This call set interact text. Okay. I don't just want to do it, that will do it for the door itself. Which I guess since I know it's a door, but in case I ever want to add multiple doors, this will set it for all the doors. Right now there's only one door, so maybe making it needlessly complicated, but anyway. Okay, so if it is the door, we are going to create widget. And I'm just going to use that interact widget. And we're going to set interact text event. We're going to say game complete. Congratulations. Room complete. So we don't people don't think, oh, I played it once. There's only one room. Good, I'm done. And that is spelled wrong. Congratulations. Congratulations. It still seems wrong. Pop over to some Google action here. This is how I spell check. Do you mean congratulations? Sure, I guess that's what I mean. Congratulations. Okay, so we're going to save that. So now, oh, we're going to compile area. Item is already interactive. You don't need to cast interactive object. Okay, I tend to overcast. And get rid of that casting. Save some GPU cycles there. Okay, so we're going to keep that room complete up. Oh, first we're going to get player, all actors of class, first person character. Actually, we don't want to do this. We want to get player. Okay, get Why can't I get the player controller? I just want to get player controller 0. Yeah, there we go. Never mind. Why sometimes it like to do this. And we're going to remove. Oh, come on. Remove all. Shoot. Okay. Let's see. Well, let's see how this works. Interactive text. Room complete. Congratulations. And then we're going to delay for 3 seconds. And we're going to open level. And that is going to be EF entry. So once we complete all our objectives, then we create a widget, say, good job. Oh, we had to add to viewport, don't we? Yes, we do need to add to viewport. So let's, I think we can remove parent. So we want to put that in there first. So we're going to remove any existing widgets, or remove that existing widget. And then we're going to create a new widget, set the interactive text event, add to viewport. There we go, self. No, not self. Okay. We'll create the widget, set the text, add it to viewport, wait 3 seconds, open level. And actually, before we open level, remove it. Just in case you don't do that. Oops, not remove from an array. Remove from parent. Because loading levels does not nuke widgets, which is why you can use widgets as loading screens. But in this game, I don't think we're going to have a problem with loading screens. Okay, let's compile and save this. Label it. Comment from section. Doors. Interaction. Okay, so now I'll save this and let's test it out. So we're in our mission. Oops. Okay, let's play it in a new standalone game. Oh, come on. It wants to save the level, and the level isn't checked out. I hate it when it does this. File. Save. Okay. Play. Maps. File is read only. Okay. Source control. Check out modified files. File. It's being grumpy about this. Fine, let's open. Okay, it says it's checked out. Play. Okay, this is happening because I moved the contents of the directory, and so this is why it's important. People ask me, I wrote this article for Gamer Sutra, and I said set up source control is one of the first things that you do. People are like, well, you don't really need source control if you're an indie game and you haven't really made a lot. Well, I opened this game and set up all the directories, and then later I wanted to add it to source control, and so I moved the base directory into my Perforce directory. And so now sometimes mapping like this is getting messed up to where the game editor is confused about where things are mapped to. So it's checking a different location to see if something's checked out, which it is actually checked out. It doesn't need to be saved, but it doesn't want to run the standalone game because it's trying to save it and it can't save it. So I'm going to take a break right now, figure out how to fix this, and then I will come back. This is a good place to take a break.